I heard you had a great sketch idea, which was butt baby.
Butt pregnant.
I got hired at SNL, and I thought, well, this is going to be great for my anxiety.
Your famous sketches are the Bears.
The Bears.
There's way too many to list. I mean,
They really
how long
are.
do you have?
You were a senior at Harvard, published a book, you were writing for the Lampoon, then you got hired at SNL. What did you think was happening?
I always loved writing because it was like a refuge for me, a refuge from anxiety. And it was like,
That's his first block is anxiety.
Anxiety, yeah. Which is, not a shocker probably.
No.
Yeah. But it was like this, with writing, I could kind of go into my room and just be completely, totally in control of what I was writing. And so it was like my safe activity. And then I got hired at SNL, and I thought, well, this is going to be great for my anxiety because I could write all the time because I'll be a professional writer.
Right.
But it turned out.
But you're writing about 24 hours in the rest of the time.
It turned out that it did not relieve my anxiety.
You did a lot of producing and talk. Whenever I'm at SNL, I'm like, I cannot believe the amount of socializing they have to do.
It's unbelievable.
It's like unfucking barrel and like complimenting sketches. I like that move, and you're just like, what are you?
Yeah.
It's so odd to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what it is. It's just like a cocktail party kind of.
Well, the first half of the week is like bliss because you're just like ensconced in your tiny room with your favorite writers to write with, or your cast to write with, and you're writing whatever you want. You have total freedom. No one comes in and says like, you've got to write about, X political issue. You can do anything. So and then
who did you wrote with Mulaney, America?
Mulaney and America
Bill?
a lot. Wrote with Bill a lot. Wrote with
anything like what are your most known sketches?
Our most known sketches, I mean, probably What's That Name?
Hello and welcome to What's That Name? The rules are simple. We show you a person, you tell us their name.
It's a great sketch.
Which is when we just went full tilt and made Bill Hader's game show host an actual psychopath, which we had been drifting there for years. Bill would play.
You finally just named Bill what he is.
Because we had the default when I got to SNL was game show host. We're still kind of in the Phil Hartman game show host mold. They were oily and sleazy and cheesy. Certainly, like they lacked humanity, but they weren't like active antagonists. And
well, what's funny is when I think of that sketch, I don't think of Bill.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think of the premise of the sketch, which is we all interact with so many people, and there are people whose names you should know that you don't know.
Totally.
I'm one of your closest friends. Hey, Todd.
And I've been his girlfriend for 4 years. What's my name?
Hey. Great to see you.
I guess thinking about it, Bill is goading the contestants.
Yeah, he's the antagonist, right? He's the one who is twisting the knife.
Yes, you just don't consider her a human being.
What kind of horrible game show is this?
It's What's That Name?
I don't know if you ascribe whose idea it was, but was that the point of the sketch?
No, but it became the point of the sketch.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because it very quickly morphed from like a premise-driven sketch into a character sketch. Once we realized that Bill is the devil, essentially.
But also,
actually
like,
Satan.
He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. That's what makes him so dangerous.
It's just he's being rude.
Yeah.
He's cornering people.
We had a whole backstory for Bill's game show character, which is that he was independently wealthy and funded the game show himself just to torture people.
Great. You ever read The Magic Christian?
Of course.
One of the best pure comedy books ever.
Terry Southern.
Like just a great premise.
Yeah, very similar.
Very well executed.
Very similar to What's That Name? Yeah.
It's a guy who's a billionaire and just used it to fuck with people.
Yeah.
And I still think someone should make it.
They've tried a million times.
They actually did make it. It was bad.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Terry Southern, did you know, wrote for Saturday Night Live.
I did know that.
For one season.
I did a Terry Southern deep dive back before I met you.
Yeah.
Okay, so wrote with Bill, wrote with Mulaney, wrote with America, and how did that affect your anxiety?
Well, writing with them was a blast.
Right, yeah.
It was thrilling. It was like I had company people to write with. But then I got...
And it must have been fun to have kindred spirits when you meet kindred spirits and they weren't Harvard Lampoon people.
Totody.
It must have been like, oh, great, you guys aren't... Mulaney, you only went to Georgetown. You dummies. A bunch of civilians. But it must have been like very heartening and exciting.
It was thrilling. Yeah. It's like this, it really feels like a miracle. I mean, everybody, or not to generalize, but many people who get into professional comedy writing have had unusual childhoods.
Yeah.
And so SNL, when it was at its most fun, it felt like there is this support group, this friend group that I've always wanted.
You got hired to write for Saturday Night Live. Didn't really get anything on, but you did. I heard you had a great sketch idea, which was Butt Baby.
Butt Pregnant.
Butt Pregnant.
That's one that made it.
Did it make it on?
A butt pregnancy. I'm pregnant in my butt.
The things that didn't make it was really surprising, the ones that didn't make it. Man, they call me the Pitch King over there. Even now.
The Pitch King.
The Pitch King.
Yes.
Had all the pitches, man.
You're
some amazing pitches.
You're one of the greatest bullshitters in the history of the earth.
You got to know how to bullshit a little bit. You got to know what? You got to be a good salesman.
Yeah.
You know what? That's what this business is, right? You're a salesman. You're selling people shit, whether it's real or not, or it's a version of real, or it's total bullshit that sounds real.
See, now you're doing the subdued JB.
I'm doing a little both. Once I cross my right leg over my left, I'm a different JB.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
SNL, 3 seasons, 4th season didn't get renewed, right? But I knew I wasn't going to get renewed. See, I go back to this shit. If you don't believe in fucking you don't have movement, and therefore you lose your patience because you want everybody to do shit for you. I knew when I fired my agent, I wasn't going to go back to SNL. I said, no fucking way. I have nobody to speak up for me. You need an agent to speak up for you, especially when they got other clients on the show. They got to be able to bring up JB Smoove and say, we need JB one more season. Or let's keep JB on.
Yeah.
You know? Someone got to speak up for you. You fire your fucking agent, guess what happens? That motherfucker don't speak up for you.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. They
couldn't.
You weren't doing anything anyway.
I said, I know what's going to happen. I said, I can't take it no longer. I got to get rid of this motherfucker. He's fucking up my flow. I fired his ass, and I knew. I said, I just waited for the fucking shit to hit the fan. I said, I know I'm not going back. There's no fucking way. Who gonna speak up for me? Unless they love me that much to bring me back for the 4th season of SNL. You gotta, if you don't fucking in your heart believe who the fuck you are, you panic.
Right.
You say, oh shit.
Yeah.
How am I gonna pay my fucking bills? How am I going to do this?
By the way, I know plenty of people that felt that way. Chris felt that way. I've known points when Chappelle felt that way. I like where you're like, fuck. But all right, so you feel like I felt that way a million times. I finally don't think I ever will again. But yeah.
But you know what you do. You know how hard you work. Yeah. Right? It's just going to be replaced with something else. It's going to be replaced with something else. And here's another thing. Good people get good things. You know?
Bad people do too.
They do, but in a different form. Bad people get shit sometimes short term until they realize this motherfucker ain't shit.
Right.
People who...
if you're good at the job. Yeah. If you're good, you'll get it.
You gotta plant seeds with people.
Yeah.
You have to build relationships with people long term. Yeah. And that's what the fuck I did. And like I said, being patient is a thing that you have to completely concentrate on all the time because you have to know that move you just made, that chess move you made is going to make sense later. But I do think that's a benefit of being JB Smoove is I'm very determined, man. I truly feel like you can't beat me. You know Mike Tyson said that shit one time? He said, when I'm right, you can't beat me.
Right.
When I'm right, I'm trouble.
Yeah.
I'm fucking trouble walking into an audition. I'm trouble walking on a fucking stage because I don't have a off switch.
Did you get better at figuring out how to be right? How to get yourself right?
I just kept taking chances. I took chances, man. When I got...
Did you try shit and be like...
I'm telling you, for example, before I went to SNL, I had a fucking development deal. Right? And I said, shit, should I just, this is my 3rd one.
What year did you start SNL? Is it possible
that this show might go? This is 04.
You started.
I did 04, 5, and 6 on SNL. So I said to myself, damn, this is the only way I can wrap my head around it. Sometimes I step back to step forward. Like, I've had a few development deals already. And I sat there saying, damn, I can get another one. Do I take a chance on that? Or audition for SNL? I said, let me go to New York. I'll audition for it, see what the fuck happens. It's my second time auditioning for them. I did it years ago when Tracy Morgan got on the show. And now this is another time. Made it all the way to 3 people left. Finesse, Kenan, and myself. Kenan Thompson, Finesse Mitchell, and myself. But here's the thing, the twist. They called me and says, I didn't make the show. We loved you though. Would you want to come on as a writer? Part of me was saying, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go for this fucking development deal and stay in LA.
Yeah.
But the smart motherfucker in me said, do I think about the present or do I think about what I can do with SNL? Now here's the thing about SNL. There's opportunity here. I go in as a writer, possibly work my way up to fucking cast member. That's a good option. And SNL will look great on my fucking resume. I said, Now I'm thinking ahead. People have a tendency to think, this is where the patience shit comes in. People got a tendency to want now.
Yeah.
And sometimes they ain't ready for it.
Yep.
They want that shit. They want all that gold. They want that shit right now. But they don't know how to spend it. This shit don't mean shit. You ain't got no business manager to help you run that fucking pot of gold. So I said, that shit gonna look good on my resume. Shit. I'm gonna go back to New York. I'm gonna work on that motherfucking show. And I'm gonna work this shit in increments. The fucking deals come all the time.
Yep.
It's okay. And what's the fucking percentage of fucking pilots that make it?
Yeah, no.
It's low than a motherfucker. You're just gonna be sitting out here on another fucking show, pilot. Whether it's your deal or not, I said, I'm gonna do this. So I get to SNL. I'm a writer on the show. I did warm up 2 years. Got a writer's check, right?
Right.
It's a New York hustle. Writer's check, right? Warm up, another check. And a monologue, I do a lot of monologues, check. And a sketch here and there, check.
Yep.
And Conan O'Brien is downstairs.
Right.
He didn't even leave NBC yet. Conan O'Brien found out I was upstairs, and he would call Lauren and say, hey, can we borrow JB for a sketch?
Yeah.
I think fucking Conan O'Brien probably 8-9 times.
Yeah. While
I was working at SNL as a writer behind a fucking computer.
Yeah.
So I got to just do all 4 things and get paid for all 4 things.
Yeah.
See, you don't know. You just got to apply your sensibilities, who the fuck you are, to whatever you do. If I got in there, it was all timid and quiet and just did my little writing and just mind my business. You gotta get in there.
Yeah, well, that's
I gave motherfuckers nicknames.
Yeah,
everybody had a fucking nickname in that bitch. Well, I wanted to make sure these motherfuckers didn't forget me.
Butt Pregnant. I heard about Butt Pregnant secondhand. I heard about Butt Pregnant as like this stupid motherfucker pitched Butt Pregnant,
and the shit made fucking air. I mean. The one I did not think would ever make air fucking made it.
Yes. Competitive people situations situations make you nuts. Now, I believe you. How does that manifest on a comedy writing staff? Because that seems like SNL especially competitive.
SNL is usually a lot of nice people thrown together who have somewhat of large egos because they've been the funniest person in their group, and now they're all thrown together, and it has this inherent contradiction that it's supposed to be collaborative and nurturing on the one hand, but everybody's pitted against each other on the other hand. And that was a place where there were people that kind of defined themselves through how they responded to that environment.
Define themselves in a way of like I'm great because I won,
respect or not because they're supportive or they're competitive.
Ah.
Like, there's a writer who told me this was not in my era. Like when I was there in the late 80s and early 90s.
You were always kind of there, though.
Well, no, then I left and I came back and did cartoons for 11 years, which was
your famous sketches are the Bears.
The Bears.
There's way too many to list.
They really
how
are.
long do you have?
I've got all the time in the world.
Okay. Carcinio and all the Carsons and the...
You just do this, you go whoop, whoop, whoop. And they go crazy. It's just wild, weird stuff.
Yes.
Oh my God. Not gonna phone it in tonight.
Not gonna phone it in.
When Steve Martin sang that song and Steve Martin's Holiday Wish, the Christmas Wish, and the Reagan is the mastermind, and I just feel like an asshole.
Fuck. You wrote Reagan is the mastermind?
Well, it was nice meeting you. Come on, Lisa. Come on. Bye-bye.
Back to work.
Well, it was my idea. And
that's all.
When I say I wrote,
I know what you mean.
know how that is.
Yeah.
People helped you.
Yeah.
Jim Downey.
But the 80% of the premise is 80%.
The operative joke is always
incredible.
Super important.
Yeah.
But, Cluckin' Chicken is my favorite, probably. That was a mascot. I love mascots, as you can see.
Yeah.
It was a chicken who represented a fast food chain who's always got a big smile on his face. And Phil Hartman asked him, why is your chicken so chickalicious or whatever? And then he explains, it's because I'm flame broiled. And then he takes you through the whole process, starting with his head being chopped off.
Then I'm plucked and gutted. My intestines are pulled out. Trust me, you don't want them.
What I remember about that sketch is when the audience realizes what's happening.
Yeah.
The laughs are like, oh, and then they're like kind of thrilled by it.
Yes.
Because it's so fucking
very satisfying.
Brutal.
Hear that sizzle? That's me. 550 degrees. Good thing I'm dead or yeah-wee.
Yeah, but satisfying because like nobody thought to write about it or say it, but it was always insane that there were mascots for fast food places that were the thing that's being eaten.
They were the
Has
victim,
a giant smile on his face, reassuring.
Yes.
Yep. Plucked and gutted and ready to go.
Yep, at your service.
Yes.
So I would say you were very dominant. I mean, whatever. You don't you don't use words like that. Fine.
I mean, other people use that about people who are doing well.
Well, I don't say it as a negative way. It's I know. You're so good at sketches. And I say that as somebody who knows about sketches, I once thought of a sketch thinking about what you would do. I swear to God. Like I thought of it was like, what would Smigel and whatever. So I
had my own heroes at the show.
Who were your heroes?
Well, Jack Handy to me is in a class by himself.
Yeah, he's in the top.
Because I was really good and I wrote a lot of things, but I would say a fair amount of them, somebody else potentially could have come up with, in my opinion. Whereas Jack Handy, he had so many ideas that you just can't imagine anyone else in the world.
You don't even know how he got there.
Exactly.
As a comedy writer, you're like, how the fuck did you get there?
Yeah.
Even his New Yorker pieces, which should be boring, are still like, wow.
His originality really stands out. And then Jim Downey's just as skilled and as funny as anybody I've ever met.
Yeah.
So those guys
they'd be on my list as well. Okay, so but competitive people make you nuts, and that's sort of a way.
That's a place where so what I was going to say was I remember seeing an interview with a writer from like a later era, literally saying that at the table read that he would actively clam up when other sketches that weren't his, that he didn't want to see do well. Like he would hold back laughter. And I don't remember that in my era.
Yeah.
My cast, what I liked about my group was like Harvey and Nealon and Hartman and Jan Hooks and Nora and Victoria and Dana Carvey. I mentioned him, right?
Mm-hmm, Mike Myers.
Mike joined later, but they would like openly bicker with each other, but they would never do that. They would never hold back at read through. If somebody was funny, people gave it up. And, because that's like a whole other level of competitive that is just.
Well, that's like sabotage.
Yeah. It's like you're not, everybody in that era really wanted the show to be good.
Hey, did you like that? Did you like that? Yeah, did you like it though? You want more? Don't want to work? Would rather watch videos of me grab-assing with people? First of all, go up here to subscribe and then go up here to watch more clips. This is like when the weatherman says there's a high pressure system coming in. I'm not really used to the green screen.